Welcome to the TLDR patch notes, where I've read the patch notes like once, and so you don't have to. This is patch 10.22. As you can see, we've got some small buffs and nerfs coming through today with a few updated abilities. It's kind of a lightweight patch as we prepare for the preseason, and so let's get right into it. First off, we have the new champion Seraphine. Controversial release, had a Twitter account, had an Instagram, was making music, wasn't sure if champion, and now we know that it is, but it turns out that it might actually just be a copy of Sona. And so, we'll see how popular this actually is. Moving on to our buffs for this patch. First off, we have Xayah with a small attack speed buff on her base attack speed going up in this patch, just to put her in line with the other AD carries. Then we have a Mumu coming through with a really nice buff for him. His ultimate used to disarm and root within his circle. Now it's going to stun. This is important because mages used to be able to use non-movement abilities on him and basically burst him down while he was still in his ult. This is now going to stun them completely, so I think this is a really nice change for a Mumu. Moving through to LeBlanc, again, a really nice change for her. Reduction in mana for her E, and then also increasing the damage. This is going to just make her a little bit more potent, a little bit more spammy, which is really going to be a nice change for the assassin in the mid lane. Moving to the Sejuani, a small-ish buff, just a little bit of range increase on her ultimate, but you know, it's still a buff nonetheless. And then Nasus as well, his ultimate is now going to be a lot more tanky. He's going to get tanky faster. They're removing the resistance over time and adding a whole bunch of it up into the front. Now, our first major change for this patch is Brand. They're basically reworking the way Brand works. I'm going to class this as a mini rework. They're changing his passive, less base damage, more AP scaling. This is going to help Brand in the mid lane and potentially even the jungle, and support. Yeah, it's going to help Brand everywhere. I think it's a good passive change for Brand, just doing more damage on that burst. But the big change is his E, his conflagration. Now, as you know, his conflagration used to only spread if his target was ablaze. Now it's going to spread every single time, but the radius is reduced, and then his blaze passive is going to put it to be a 600 range instead. This is going to help him clear faster in the jungle. This is going to help him in the mid lane. It's going to help him everywhere again. I think it's an amazing change for Brand on that piece. And the next big one as well, he's not finished just yet. His ultimate is now going to bounce onto Brand. Obviously, it's not going to damage him, but it is going to help him in those 1v1 situations. And again, I think this is a focus on the mid-jungle Brand changes. I'm expecting to see some Brand in the mid lane. I'm excited to play him. I think this is going to really help out his 1v1 potential and potency in those duels. Now moving through to Annie, who has our next big changes. Now, Annie's always had this weird shield. It's always been a shield that hasn't really been fit thematically, I guess, for a mage, where it used to give her like armor and magic resist, and then they added damage reduction. But Annie's kind of a burst mage, and so having that didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but it was useful for charging her ultimate, or her stun charges, sorry. Now, they've changed this, removed the damage reduction, and they've made it a real-life shield now. It's going to give her an actual shield that can absorb damage, and it's going to scale with her AP. It's pretty strong. She can also cast it on allies now, if she chooses to, self-cast or ally cast, and it's going to be, that's quite an interesting change. The problem is, it's now doubling the mana cost. Now this hurts Annie charging up her stun. I'm not sure. I've put this in the buffs category, but I'm not sure whether it's going to sit there or if it's going to sit somewhere else. We'll see how it sort of plays out. Definitely a buff for support Annie, yet to be seen for the mid Annie, but I think thematically this is a good change. Jinx's Flame Chompers, her E, her traps are now going to do damage instantly. I didn't know that they didn't, and so this is a small change, I guess. And Ashe is going to now fire arrows scaling with her level on her Q rather than just firing 9 at every level. Moving into the nerfs for this patch, we've got Karthus being nerfed, a 5 damage nerf on his Q. Now this doesn't seem like very much, but the amount of time he uses his Q, this is going to add up over time. Take away from his potency in the jungle, I think. Interesting nerf, but we'll leave it at that. Lulu is trying to be nerfed for the top lane. Lulu top has been a problem. They're trying to fix her. And so what do? They reduce the damage on her Q, the base damage, in the late game. Bruh, that's not gonna solve the problem. I don't know what this nerf was. I don't think this is a nerf. I think this is like a love tap. Moving through into Samira, finally, the massive Samira nerf we've all been waiting for. They're removing her base AD by 2 points. Removing it. 2 points. 59 to 37. And then they're also reducing her base armor by another 2 points. 4 points in total. Major nerf. Huge change. And then we've got Zed as well. They are reducing the damage on his Shadow Slash, the Shadow Spin. Small change again, just to see if it tweaks it down a little bit. Not a massive nerf, but it is what it is. It's something. And then looking at the gameplay changes coming in this patch, pet range indicators. This is, I think, a really cool change. You're now going to be able to see when your pets, if you're Shaco or Tibbers, Shaco or Annie with the clone or Tibbers, where the clone is going to reach that max range and then teleport back to your player. This is really important for Shaco mains who have the ability to do some really cool outplays using their deceive and making the clone appear before they do. And so this is a nice quality of life change. Huge fan. I think this is going to create some cool plays. And then Clash invites. If you're not familiar, last patch they added Clash invites. So if you're a free player or you need looking for a player in a team with only 4, you can now put out invitations to join your Clash team, kind of like matchmaking for Clash. They've now expanded this on a little bit, and you can now have 20 invites out at a time, and it'll automatically close when you're finished. Again, quality of life. Looking at our Earth balance changes here, nothing too notable. Anivia needs to be nerfed, not buffed. I don't know what that is. Earth buffs are all over the place in this game. Yumi is getting a little bit of a nerf with the big 50% added on to her cooldown for E, but I'm not sure if that's necessarily going to be enough. And then some bug fixes or quality of life changes. Notable ones here are that you can now ping your abilities when they're evolved as Kai'Sa, and LeBlanc has another bug fix on her R, which is going to add on to the buff that we saw earlier. So LeBlanc is going to be strong in this patch, where her R, her Mimic, is going to have some ability queuing problems fixed. Basically meaning she's going to be smoother to play, she won't accidentally be using the wrong abilities, and so that is going to be nice. Then looking at our new skins for this patch, the new skins coming out obviously are the KDA all out range. They're cashing in on KDA twice because why not? Twice is nice, it's double as sweet, and that is going to be for some of these champions coming through. I'm not really going to focus on skins in this video. If you're interested in skins, go check out Skin Spotlights. They do amazing videos on all of the new skins coming out to check out the particles, the game effects, what the spells look like. So go check out Skin Spotlights if you're interested in learning more about the new skins that are coming out. I won't be covering off on them really in this patch. And that is all for patch 10.22. This is the first time doing this video, and so if you have some criticisms, please leave them below, some constructive feedback. I'd love to incorporate them into my next video. Huge shout out to my Patreons and JBL who helped make this video possible. Remember to subscribe as well. Do it now. And I will see you next time a patch comes out or when I make another video. Until next time, see you on the Rift for patch 10.22. Ark out.